Hi friends, today I am going to explain iterative statements in Java. Iterative statements, also known as loops, are control flow statements that allow a block of code to be executed repeatedly based on a specified condition. So it allows a block of code to be executed multiple times until and unless the specified condition is being satisfied. Java provides three types of loops: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Let's see what is while loop. If you don't know number of iterations in advance, then we should go for while loop. Syntax: while keyword, and inside the parenthesis we have to mention the condition and then body of the while loop. The condition is checked before executing the loop body. If the condition is true, the statement inside the loop are executed. If the condition is false, the statement inside the loop is not being executed. Important points about while. First point, the argument should be Boolean type. Here the argument in the sense the condition. Condition should be always Boolean type. For example, int x is equals to 0 while x less than 2, system.out.println hello, increasing the value of x. Let's see the block of code in compiler. Here x is equal to 0. The condition is x less than 2. And here x is 0, 0 less than 2. Here the condition is true, that is Boolean type. So it runs fine. And what is the output in the sense? X is equal to 0, hello is being printed, and 0 becomes 1. Here we use increment operator. So x is equal to 1 means 1 less than 2. Again the condition is true. So again hello is being printed. And x incremented by 1, that is 2. 2 less than 2, condition is false. So loop execution stops. So whenever we run this code, it prints hello 2 times. Let's see. Hello and hello. So here the loop runs while x is less than 2 and increment x to avoid an infinite loop. So next example, while of 1. Here in other languages like Python, here whenever we put 1, it works. But in Java it doesn't work because here 1 is int type, not a Boolean type. So whenever we execute this block of code, it gets error. So error says that incompatible types int cannot be converted to Boolean. That is, here the value is int, but it expects Boolean. It always expects Boolean inside the parenthesis. So the condition in while should be Boolean, not int. So example 2 raises an error. And rule 2. Curly braces are optional, and without curly braces we can take only one statement, and that statement should not be a declarative statement. So we see in compiler here, if we remove the curly braces, it works fine. So here the conditions, we keep the condition true and we remove the curly braces. So whenever we run the code, it runs fine and it prints hello infinite number of times because the condition is always true. So it doesn't raise any error. It just prints hello, hello, hello infinite number of times because here condition is always true. And if we remove this statement and if we keep end of the statement here, so it says that empty implementation. So whenever we run this code, it runs fine with empty implementation. So if you run the code, it runs fine, and here empty implementation. So if we see example 3 here, here I have taken declarative statement. So without brackets, we should not take a declarative statement. It raises error. So if I take declarative statement here, int x is equals to 10, and if I run the code, it raises error. It says that variable declaration not allowed here. So we should not take declarative statements if it doesn't use any brackets. It should not be a declarative statement. And if we use brackets, it works fine. It doesn't raise any error. It is an empty implementation. It works fine and it doesn't raise any error. Be- Because of here true, so it runs infinite number of times. So it doesn't stop because the condition here is true. So if I keep here int x is equals to int I is equals to 0 and I less than 2, I plus plus, and if I keep any system.out.print statement, then it stops. If I run the code, it just prints hello two times because here I have taken I is equals to 0 and after one iteration I becomes 1, after second iteration I becomes 2. So 2 less than 2 becomes false, the execution terminates. And let's see what are unreachable statements while using the while loop. So let's see an example. Unreachable statements in the sense the statement is not being reached by the compiler or JVM. So whenever we run the this like of codes, like for example, I'll take this code and here inside the condition it is always true. So if the condition is always true, the line number 6 will not execute because the condition is always true. Always line number 4 is executed. Here our JVM is more intelligent. So it intimates that line number 6 is unreachable. So whenever we run the code, our JVM says that line number 6 is unreachable. So you have to change the code. Our JVM is more sharper than us. So it intimates us about this error. So whenever I run the code, it intimates that line number 6 is not being unreachable. So line number 6, error, unreachable statement. This is the unreachable statement. So in Java, this error is very common, unreachable statement error. So if I take false here, now also Java thinks very differently because whenever the condition is false, here line number 4 is unreachable. So whenever I run this code, it again raises an unreachable statement error because here line number 4 is unreachable. So you doesn't need to write this entire loop because it is unreachable. So whenever I run the code, it again raises the error. It says that now the line number 3 unreachable statement. So here after the line number 3, this is unreachable because here it is false. So the body of the while is unreachable. So Java is more sharper than us. It always intimates this code is not required. That is, this code is not required. Why you are writing this code? So it says that it is unreachable. So you can remove this code. Now it's fine. If I remove that code, it works fine. These are unreachable statement errors. And let's see example 2. Here I have taken int x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 20. Here I have taken variables and int x is equals to 10, y is equals to 20. X less than y. X less than y is true because 10 less than 20 is true. And here doesn't raise unreachable statement error because at the time of compilation, it doesn't know whether it is true or false because if it is final at the time of compilation only it knows whether it is true or false, but it is not final. So our JVM doesn't know at the time of compilation, it doesn't know whether it is true or false. So it comes to the runtime. Whenever it comes to the runtime, the inside loop, this line number 5 is being executed infinite number of times. So whenever I run the code, inside loop execute infinite number of times. So here you can see inside loop executes infinite number of times because at the time of compilation, it doesn't know whether it is true or false. So it sends to the runtime execution. The runtime, it is always true, so it executes always. And if it is false, it just prints hello. X greater than y, 10 greater than y is false. So if I run the code, it just prints hello. Because at the time of compilation, it doesn't know whether it is false or true. So it doesn't raise any compilation error. If these variables are final, if these variables are final, so at the time of compilation only, the 10 value is being assigned to x and 20 value is being assigned to y, and this condition is being true. The at the time of compilation only, the condition becomes true. So now if I run the code, it again raises unreachable statement error. Let's see. Because the variables are final here. Final variables are being replaced at the time of compilation. So it again raises unreachable statement. And here unreachable statement line number 7. That is, this statement is not being reachable because the condition is always true. If the condition is false, now line number 5, that is line number 4 2, this body is not being reachable because here the condition is false, x greater than y, 10 greater than 20 is false. So at the time of compilation only, it becomes false. So whenever I run the code, it says that line number 4 2 unreachable. So if I run the code, here you can see the Java 4 error 4, line number 4. This is line number 4, error unreachable statement. So after this condition, the statement is being unreachable. So for final variables, it raises error. And now see what is do while, how do while works in Java. The do while loop is an exit control loop in Java, meaning the body of the loop executes at least once before checking the condition. It ensures that the block of code inside the loop runs at least one time, even if the condition is false from the beginning. Although if the condition is false, the body is being executed once. Let's see the syntax. Do keyword, then the body, and after the body, while keyword and condition inside the parenthesis. Here, curly braces are optional, and without curly braces, we can take only one statement between do and while, which should not be a declarative. So, if we see examples, let's run the example 1. So, here do and curly braces are optional and while true. So, here the condition is always true. So, if I run the code, here you see this condition is always true. So, if the condition is always true, hello is being printed always. And with empty implementation also valid. So if I keep like this, do end of the statement and while true, it is also valid. It doesn't raise any error because it is empty implementation. And in example 3, If you take declarative statement, it raises error because declarative statements are not valid if it doesn't use parentheses, sorry, curly braces. So if I run the code, it raises variable declaration not allowed here. It says that variable declaration is not allowed. If it doesn't use curly braces, variable declaration is not allowed. If we use curly braces, it works fine. So if I run again, it is an implementation, so it doesn't raise any error. And here the condition is true, so it is being executing infinite number of times because here the condition is true. So example 4 is valid, but example 3 is not valid because here declarative statement should not be used because we doesn't use curly braces. Here we can use declarative because we used curly braces. And example 5. This is a different syntax. If you see this, you may say that it raises error. If you see this, if I run this, it doesn't raise any error. Let's see. If I run the code, it doesn't raise any error. It prints hello hello infinite number of times. Why? Why? Whenever I executed this, why it doesn't raise any error? The readability of this code is not good. And one can easily say that it raises error. In interviews also you may confuse that if interviewer asks you this question, you may say that it raises error, but it works fine. Once again, I'll run the code. It works fine. It prints hello. Why it prints hello? That many number of times. Let's see. Let's split the code. I'm splitting the code. This is why it prints hello always. Inside the do, we have taken while. This is a while loop. Inside the do, we have taken while loop. So after executing do, it comes with while loop. Here the while condition is true, so it prints hello always. So when I run the code, it prints hello infinite number of times. Now the code makes sense. So this is how the code works here. Here you may say that we doesn't use curly braces here. Why are you using two lines of code? This is not actually two lines of code. This is a one code block of while. It's not like two lines. If you use like these two lines in the sense two println statements, now it raises error because we should not use two statements whenever we doesn't use curly braces. If I run code, it raises error. It says that while expected, here expected, and all these, it says it is error. And if we add curly braces to it, now it doesn't raise any error. Actually, the condition is false here, and although condition is false, once the body is being executed, so it should print hello two times. Let's see. Yeah, hello is being printed two times. This is how with the curly braces and without curly braces do while works. Unreachable statements. Let's see unreachable statement errors in do while. First example, if we take example 1, here I have taken do while, and inside the do the body is system.out.println hello, and after that hi. And whenever I execute this code, here the condition is true. So the condition is always true. So line number 7 is unreachable. So when I run the code, it says that line number 7 is unreachable. So if I run the code, it raises an error. That is Java 7. That is line number 7 unreachable statement. Here line number 7 is unreachable. So we'll correct the code once. Yeah. And if we try with false, it executes once and then the condition is false and then it prints hi. So hello and hi is being printed. These two are reachable, so it doesn't raise any error. It prints hello, hi. Yeah. And second example is with variables. Int a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, and a less than b. Let's take variables. Int a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, and let's replace condition with a less than b. So here the condition is a less than b, that is true condition. But the variables are not final. So if the variables are not final, here the condition is not replaced at the time of compilation. It is being replaced at the time of runtime. So it doesn't raise any error. It prints infinite loop and hello is being printed infinite number of times. The variables are final, then it raises an unreachable statement error. So if I run the code, it works fine and hello is being printed infinite number of times. And if the condition is false, a greater than b, that is 10 greater than 20. Here the condition is being false. So although condition is false in do while, once the body is being executed, so hello is being printed and the condition is false, hi is being printed. Hello, hi. Output is hello, hi. Here's the output. And if we replace variable with final and a less than b, here a less than b is true. This true is being replaced at the time of compilation because these variables are final. So at the time of compilation only the condition is true. So it says that line number 7 is not reachable. So whenever I run the code, it says line number 7 unreachable statement. And if the condition is false, a greater than b, that is 10 greater than 20 is false, hello and hi is being printed. So if I run the code, hello and hi is being printed. So this is how unreachable statement errors occurs in do while. So now let's see exercise. Please pause the video and answer the questions. First question. Which of the following is true about while loop in Java? Option A. The loop body executes at least once before checking the condition. No, it happens with do while, not while. And option B. The loop condition must be a Boolean expression. Yeah. Option B is true. And second question. What will be the output of the following code? Int x is equal to 0, while x less than 2, print statement hello x plus plus. So x is equal to 0, hello is being printed, x and incremented 1, hello is being printed and incremented x becomes 2, the 2 less than 2 is false. So here hello is being printed twice. So option B is correct. Third question. Which of the following will cause a compilation error? While true, system.out.println hello. No. While 1. Yeah, here the condition should not be integer type, it should be Boolean type. So option B causes compilation error. Fourth question. How many times will the following do while loop execute? X is equals to 5. In do while, first the body is being executed, then checks the condition. So allow is being executed once. Here the statement executed once, and 5 greater than 10 false, so it terminates. So it executes one time. Fifth question. What will be the output of the following code? Final x is equals. Here let's see the variables are final. So the condition is being replaced by true or false at the time of compilation only. So x is equals to 10, y is equals to 20, x less than y, 10 less than y. So it is true at the time of compilation only, it is true. So if it is true, the statement is unreachable. So if there is a compilation error, says unreachable statement. So option C is correct. It raises compilation error. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos.